Hey there, what's up? My name is Jeremy Ginsberg. Welcome to my vlog. Today joining me I've got some delicious smelling flowers. It smells like candy. Anyways, I'm back. And I think I'm going to do some more vlogging because life has been pretty crazy. When is life not crazy? Seriously. Anyways, I'm back here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. June's here, back together. We had a little reunion. But the bulk of this vlog that I want to talk about is pharmaceuticals. I resisted pharmaceuticals for a while, but here I am talking about it, and I figure if I'm going to do it, might as well share my experience and hope that I can help other people along the way, but also receive help along the way. So if you're just tuning in, essentially it's been over 2 years, almost 2.5 years now. I've been getting really bad headaches, and with that has come a lot of fatigue as well. I've become hypersensitive to a lot of different things, including cigarettes, any kind of smell, crowded places, people, pollution, noise, activity, etc. So 2 years ago I went to the Mayo Clinic, which is a really well-known hospital, super renowned. And anyway, so I went there. We got an appointment like 4 months in advance. We're on the waiting list, and we show up and just didn't really feel like I could trust the doctor that I had. I didn't feel like he was really listening to me and like really heard my full story. I kind of felt like it was more like he was checking the boxes. And I remember specifically when I told him that marijuana was the best thing I could use for a pain relief, then he tried to make the case that that was the reason why I was getting the headaches. And then I explained that I was getting headaches before that. And then eventually I asked him, I said like, hey, have you ever like used marijuana as like a pain reliever? And he kind of like laughed. It's like, oh, not since college. And so at that point I was like, who is this guy who doesn't even know what marijuana does to the body? He doesn't even know what it feels like, and he's giving me advice based on what he cannot know or feel. So I felt like this guy. And there are other things. They wanted to do like a spinal tap, and they're like, we have no idea, none of this checks, but like, here, you can take these drugs or get Botox. And at the time I was like not willing to I didn't want to listen to this guy, to be honest. It was more like I just didn't feel like I could trust him. And at the same time, I felt like there were so many other healing modalities out there that I could give a shot. And without knowing what the root cause is, I wanted to at least explore them first and see if I could have any success with that. Plus, I had given pharmaceuticals a shot maybe like the preceding months before that, and I had taken some antidepressants that actually made me go pretty much crazy. I was like suicidal for 2 days on one of these pills. I had a panic attack. It was up there with like my worst psychedelic trip, if not worse, because it was less expected. But anyway, so that was why I didn't want to take the drug prescribed at the time. Fast forward to now, 2.5 years later, or 2 years later since that appointment with the Mayo Clinic. And I've lived in Thailand. I've traveled around Asia looking for any type of modality, from Ayurvedic medicine or Chinese medicine or plant medicine from the Amazon, traditional Vietnamese medicine, even been to more of the conventional side. Basically, I still haven't had much luck with any of these things. And when I was living in Brazil, I spent 2 months there. I was just really struggling, and even the tools and stuff that I had accumulated that were helping me a lot, such as the Buteco breathing method and meditation and this certain diet that I know manages the pain and allows me to live a better life, a lot of those things weren't cutting it. So I hit this point. I was this desperation, and I just said, I was like, I'll take anything as long as if it'll help. So this was like mid-April or late March or so when I hit that point mentally. And I feel like a lot of times in life, once the decision is made, that's when everything starts changing. It's not just when you take the flight to this country. It's like as soon as you decide, you commit, or you have a mindset shift, then things start changing already. The perspective changes, the way you talk to people, your priorities, what you have to buy, prepare, etc. So at that point, late March, it reached this point. I was just like, I'll take whatever, as long as it'll help. I was desperate. Was feeling so much fatigue, just like felt so tired and frustrated and angry and also depressed on top of that. Just like I spent so much time in my room literally thinking, why is this happening to me? Is this my chosen path? What happens when I die? Did my soul choose this path? I spent like maybe a week or two actually reading and researching and thinking, like looking at the way that this life manifests and the relationship between the soul and the physical body, and really asking myself, did I choose this? Did my soul say, I'm going to get so many headaches and suffer and pain and all this shit because blah, blah, blah? And I was like really, really thinking about it. And my final conclusion is yes. I think that some form of intelligence beyond what I can access in this moment, and I kind of chose all this just to play and just to have fun, and like knowing that at the end of it, it'll just all be rainbows and unicorn. So maybe that was the lesson I needed to come to through all this shit, but whatever. So I made the mindset shift. I'm like, all right, I'll take anything. I'm desperate. And fast forward a couple of weeks, I go back to Minnesota, where I grew up, and there's kind of a split in my family between me and my family of like the conventional more way of doing things and the non-conventional. And basically some people in my family wanted me to do the more conventional, and it was perfect timing because I just decided in my mind, I was like, I'll do anything, I don't care. So long story short, ended up getting this drug called valproic acid, and I'm on day 10 or 11 of it, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I definitely don't feel great. At the same time, it's supposed to take 2 to 3 weeks to even kick in, so it could be just this placebo. It could be my body reacting to it, getting the side effects first, and not yet receiving the benefits. But I guess I just wanted to kind of share my story about going from this non-conventional plant medicine, meditation, hippie, pure naturalist perspective into Western medicine, because I feel like they both have so much to offer. And I see so many people on both sides terrified of the other. I see people that are sold by pharmaceutical industry, and they believe that if there's not a scientific study that backs it, then they won't take it, and they're afraid. They think ayahuasca and Kambo are going to kill you, and that it's scary, and the shamans are going to go crazy and blah, 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 whatever. Just basically living in fear. And then I also see so many people in the purist community that just sees pills and pharmaceuticals as like this manifestation of the devil, of this like horrible toxic thing. Oh no, you didn't do that. And I think they both have their purposes, and they're both here to help. And I don't know, maybe by me sharing my experience, it can shine some light on someone else who has some sort of fear or ego-driven perspective about something that could help them. And really all it takes is just an open mind. So I've decided I'm going in with an open mind. And that's why I wanted to make this vlog, and hopefully make more about my experience with this drug, because I feel like there's so many beautiful practices that come from the natural, holistic, homeopathic way, and that can be applied to conventional medicine. And the same vice versa. The theories and philosophies that go with conventional medicine can be applied to, the natural way. So for me, I just decided, like, all right, I'm committed, I'm open. My 2 commitments are to be open to myself. Sorry. My two commitments are going to be open, just to stay open, open-minded, treat everything with curiosity, be curious and not furious, no judgment. And number two is just to listen to my body and be true to myself. So I'm taking this. I'm on day 10 and I'm feeling okay. But I'm just using this as another way to stay in touch with my body, to really feel the side effects. The first 2 days, I think it was like my spleen, somewhere in my chest was just like bumping. I'm thinking, meditating, sitting with it. I'm like, is this the pill, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like talking to my body like, hey, you got this. This is medicine. It's going to help you. Doing everything in my power to turn this into a positive experience so it can at least give a shot to help me feel that better. Another thing I'm doing is treating it like medicine. I feel like if I were to look at it every day and be like, oh, this is going to give me a side effect. No, I don't want to take it. I hope it's blah, blah, blah. Then I'm like looking, oh, do I feel it yet? Am I getting this certain side effect? No, like I'm treating it like medicine. I look at it, I sit with it. I'm like, all right, even not every time, but I like this mantra. May my body take what it needs and leave the rest, and take it and really turn it into a bit of a meditation. So it tells my body, hey, prepare. This is going to help us. This is here to help. And I guess the third thing that I've done is basically just committing to like really giving it a good shot. I mean, I did the master fast for 18 days where I didn't eat any food, and I went through some really rough waters. You can watch those videos. They're on my YouTube. And basically I was in a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and because I felt like, all right, this could really help me, and I believed that there was a chance that I could get better and really heal and get rid of a lot of pain, I stuck with it. And I think that's also the case for this. And I'm just really seeing everything as a gift from the universe that's here to help me. The book by Michael Singer, The Surrender Experiment, helped me see that, because he talks about when he would have these meetings and he looked at the person across from him as if the universe has hand selected them at this specific time and said, hey, sit, this person is who you need to talk to. So I'm just trying to treat life like that and say, this is a beautiful, perfect experience. It's here to help. It's here to help me grow, to share my experience, to inspire people, to give help, to receive help, to open up to new possibilities, to diminish my ego of whatever spiritual or pure ego I had. It's like, oh, I can do it without mustard meds. I'm the best, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, one is not better than the other. No one's right, no one's wrong. Different strokes for different folks, and let the results speak for themselves. So that's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. And I'm also using it as an excuse to really stay even more true to myself. I do feel that so far since taking the medicine, I feel a little bit more disconnected, kind of like more closed. Maybe it's less inspired, less connected with my intuition, less connected just in general with the universe. But I'm using that not as something to my disadvantage, but it's something like, okay, wow, I'm feeling more in my head and more anxious than recently, so I get to flex those muscles of like, all right, let's meditate, let's journal, it gives me this beautiful opportunity to be the observer and be like, wow, I'm really freaking out in my head right now, but that's not me. I'm not my thoughts. Where on the other side, when I was doing like the master fast and stuff, I felt so clear. I'm like, oh my gosh, love, life, woohoo, like crazy things happen. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I'm just using both to my advantage, or at least doing my best. So that's where I'm at, day 11. If you know anything about valproic acid, let me know. All the stuff I've looked up on the internet of like, how does it actually work? It's like scientists are in disagreement. They're really not sure how it actually works. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like when I think, pharmaceuticals and this type of Western meds, it's just like, I thought they had the scientific data to back it up, and they really know like exactly what's going on in the brain and with the cells. So that's one thing I don't really like, but who knows? Maybe someone out there knows more information. But also I think that maybe if I try something else that has more of like a thing that I can follow along. But yeah, I guess that's all I got for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. One love. Namaste. And talk to you soon.